let's start with some baseball, you guys. Happy postseason. We have the ALDS and NLDS all playing today. So many fun storylines, as I said off the top of the show. But this is also the first time we have basically all of the superstars playing in the postseason. Shohei Ohtani making his playoff debut. Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, Mookie Betts, Bobby Witt Jr., Pete Alonso, Lindor, Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean, the list goes on, but like it finally feels like everyone that was having that kind of a season is actually going to be playing in October. Obviously, that big one is Ohtani making his debut, and this is what it's all about. Like, this is what it's all about. But let's start with Detroit. Obviously, as I mentioned, Cleveland just crushed the Tigers in Game 1, 7-0. First time that they have ever faced off in the postseason. But I need a moment for the sweep that they made earlier this week because, you guys, the Tigers knocked out the Astros in the wild card series, ending the Astros' 7 consecutive ALCS appearances, with the Astros' former manager, A.J. Hinch, leading the Tigers to victory. So that was the ultimate gut punch for the Astros, also because they have about like 6 big name unrestricted free agents now after the season. So it is not going to be the same team that they had this year. But this Tigers team also, like, we were talking about how they're in a rebuild at the start of this season. Mm-hmm. And then they even shipped off all of their veterans at the trade deadline. Like, and then they lost Javi Baez to injury. Like, the way that this Detroit team was set up for this season, I don't think, I mean, except if you're a Tigers fan, most people didn't have them making it to the postseason. But they somehow turned it around, going the AL best 34-19 after the trade deadline since July 30th and snuck in as that
addition by subtraction. Addition by subtraction. No, they just were placing the faith in their farm system. They were placing their faith in their young players. They placed their faith in, their new manager, all of this kind of stuff. I am particularly happy for the Detroit Tigers because I'm a White Sox fan.
Okay.
We let a very beloved part of that organization in Jason Benetti go, which was really, like, I think that was the thing that stung the most, honestly. Like, yes, the White Sox had a historically bad season, but before it even started, they allowed Jason Benetti to go and then become the voice of the Tigers. And instead of anybody turning against them, they're in the same division now, like all this other stuff, it's just like, we're so happy that Jason's happy.
Yeah.
We just want Jason to call some fun games. Yeah. And he was able to do that. So we're all very happy in Chicago for Jason Benetti getting to be part of this Detroit Tigers run.
Yeah. I mean, this is like good for them. Like the Tigers slowly getting back to, I guess, where they were maybe a decade ago. But let's move. Yeah, a while ago. But let's move to the next matchup that is getting underway pretty soon here. They're in warm-ups. Mets and Phillies. Now, this is the first time they have ever met in the postseason as well. And the Mets' journey to get here, you guys, one of the most, like, historic.
Most Mets thing ever.
Like, especially, like, for Mets fans who are familiar with the Mets just metting. Like, they always find a way to blow it. Like, you had it, and you blew it. Like, that is what the Mets do. But all that changed when Pete Alonso became the 9th inning hero for the Mets.
3-1 to Alonso. Williams sets. Here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball to right field. Pretty well hit. Frelick back at the wall. He jumps. It's gone. He did it. He did it. Pete Alonso with the most memorable home run of his career. Pumps his fist as he rounds second. It's a 3-run homer. He's given the Mets a 3-2 lead.
Like, I got chills listening to that. That is poetic. That is magical. That is beautiful. Like, this is what makes sports so amazing. It's like having emotional moments like that. And I was just so happy for the Mets.
I just think it was so funny that the way the Mets got into the postseason was like the hardest possible thing that they could have possibly had to do. They're in the midst of playing 8 games in 7 days. Just an absolute Metsing
mayhem.
Yes, it's just
they played,
it's the Mets.
You forget the doubleheader that they played
Pete
on
Alonso,
the day off with the Braves to make it in.
Right, which was not their fault.
No.
It was because of a hurricane. Major League Baseball, I think, my opinion, could have handled it much better.
Oh, yeah.
There were other options rather than having these guys between the Mets and the Braves now both having to play this many games in this
Insane.
amount of time to start the postseason, and you think it's hopeless. They're scoreless going into the night, and then boom, 3-2. It changes in an instant. The Mets move on. It's incredible.
It's also crazy how they got here, because last year the Mets sold off most of their top guys at the trade deadline, and owner Steve Cohen said that they were in a, quote, rebuild. Well. That all changed on June 12th. And you know what happened on June 12th? That was the day that Grimace threw out the first pitch at the Mets game. The Mets were 29-37 going into that game, had only won 8 of their previous 20 games. After Grimace threw out that first pitch, they went on a 7-game winning streak, and they officially gave him a purple Grimace seat on September 16th at Citi Field. And for some reason, he became the unofficial mascot of the Mets this year.
They should be all, like, every postseason game that is held at the Mets Stadium,
Grimace has to be
Citi
there.
Field. Not only that, you should be giving the crowd, like, doesn't Grimace have his own shake? He's got, like,
At
his
McDonald's?
own, like, McDonald's.
I don't know.
He's got his own, like, purple shake.
Okay, I was like, I don't eat
it's
there.
real. That's
Okay,
real.
is it real?
That's real.
Yes,
okay,
it's
thank
real.
you.
Okay.
So, like, everybody in the stadium should be getting free shakes.
Something.
Like,
Something.
keep the good Grimace juju going.
It's just great. We all knew the Phillies were going to get here, right? They've been so close the last 2 seasons. In 2022, they made the World Series, lost to the Astros. 2023 made it to the NLCS, lost to the D-backs in Game 7. The Phillies have been a World Series favorite. But this is going to be absolute mayhem. Game just started, top of the first. Like, this is just 2 really intense, beautiful fan bases. And they also have Zach Wheeler on the mound for the Phillies, who's a former Met, has been one of the hottest pitchers in baseball the last month. This is going to be an epic
The question is,
series.
did Pete Alonso, with that 3-run homer, just solidify, like, staying then in New York? Because he's going to be a free agent after this season. Is that...
It all depends on what the Mets' future is. Are the Mets going to go out and build around him? But they also, like, no one thought they were going to get to the postseason this year. They were supposed to be a, quote, rebuild year. They had everybody last year. Sold off Scherzer, sold off Verlander. Like, they chose to, like, we're gonna get a lot of...
Does this now, like,
who knows?
We're more ahead of this curve than we thought we were. We're going to start building now instead of...
Something. I don't know. It's
Keeping
going to be...
high-priced free agents?
Yeah, this is going to be great. It's going to be so awesome. Okay. Royals at Yankees. That's the next game. Later this afternoon. I have the Yankees making the World Series. I need them to win this one. Yankees have Garrett Cole going in Game 1. So the real question is, can the Royals put up enough runs versus New York? Because they only scored 3 runs in the 2 wildcard games. Their star, Bobby Witt Jr., driving in the winning runs. And when you have guys like Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, 2 of the top hitters in the game, at home at Yankee Stadium, I'm putting my money on them to go off.
Yes.
It's going to go off.
Like...
I feel like that
Major League
should
Baseball
be...
is salivating at the fact that not only is Dodgers-Yankees possible,
Guys, that's my World
it's
Series
likely, Alex. Like,
meeting.
that
That's
is
my World
Vegas
Series
has that
meeting.
as the top, like the betting odds,
Yep.
all that other stuff.
Let's
Like,
go.
that is the most likely matchup for this World Series.
Let's go, baby.
Yankees are the favorites, though, so I don't know if you want to hear that.
Good. I don't care. I'm taking LA, baby. But let's move on to the most anticipated series this postseason, and there's a reason why. But Padres at Dodgers. This is the 3rd time in the last 5 postseason the Dodgers and Padres meet in the NLDS, and it's turned into a really beautiful, fun rivalry, finally, that started... I don't think it started when the Dodgers swept the Padres in 2020. I think it started when the Padres knocked out the Dodgers in 2022. And then this season, like, battle really started when the teams kicked off their season in Seoul. And you could tell from the first game of the season this was going to be an epic battle if both these teams could make it to the postseason. Obviously, the Dodgers have been one of the best regular season teams over the last decade. We knew they were going to get here, especially adding Ohtani, which is the most exciting thing of all, you guys. Shohei Ohtani making his postseason debut in his 7th season. Like, this is the exact reason that Ohtani signed with the Dodgers, to play and to win in October. And Ohtani spoke to the media this week, and he was asked at all if he was nervous playing in the postseason. Didn't even take a moment for his translator to translate it. Just went, nope. He said it's always been his childhood dream to play in important situations, to play in important games, and the excitement of that is greater than anything else he could possibly feel.
We're going to find out if this 5-game mini bye, whatever that these top seeded teams get now.
Well, it hurts. It's hurt the Dodgers in the past. It's hurt the Braves in the past.
The Yankees had it too this year. So are they going to get off to a hot start? Is there going to be kind of some having to get used to it again, get warmed back up, or is Shohei just,
I think Shohei is going to lead by example. We've already seen how Ohtani rises to the occasion in high stakes situations. He homers on his bobblehead day, hit 2 home runs in the same day to reach and create the 50-50 club. Yeah, he won the WBC for Team Japan, coming in as a closer to face Mike Trout and strike him out to beat Team USA and win the World Baseball Classic. Ohtani was born for the pressure, you guys. He is as hot of a player that you can be right now. Like, he is red hot. And we knew that was going to happen. He's already created history tonight. I'm so excited to see what goes down. The Padres have Dylan Cease on the mound. Dodgers have Yoshinobu Yamamoto also making his MLB postseason debut. These are 2 powerhouse top lineups. I mean, Padres, Luis Arraez, Fernando Tatis Jr., Profar, Machado, Jackson Merrill, Xander Bogaerts. Like, the top of both of these lineups, Dodgers, Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie, if he's healthy, we're hoping that ankle's okay. Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, Will Smith. Like, this could go off as just like, I hope. I love a home run party. Like, give me dingers all day. Dingers City. That's all I want. Dinger City. No pitching duel. Give me the action. Let's get a bunch of Dodgers home runs. But I also want to, you want to see a good game. Like, I am so excited for this. We're in for such a treat this postseason, especially with Fox having all the National League games. I mean, Mets Phillies is going to be insane. Dodgers Padres is going to be insane. Fox is salivating at all this. These are huge fan bases and all the stars. I am so excited. Let's go.